Hi, lovely person. It's Monday, the 21st of January 2013. I'm week 3 of being a vegetarian. Again, I'm winning. I'm still not eating any meat. I've been beating cravings, and I've been getting on with it. And it's been good. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So here we go again. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching me, entering my little world. I'm going to do the food loggy thing that I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. What I've been eating, how it's made me feel, all that sort of stuff. I've realised that it's quite disgusting. I keep just throwing lots of photos of food at people. You might not want that. I apologise. But here goes. This is a messy bowl full of raspberries and blueberries and natural yoghurt mixed together. This is some brie grilled on toast with some cranberry chutney. Holly came home with this ready-made meal for the microwave. It was a squash lasagna. It was lovely, but it left me feeling quite processed. This week's bizarre vegetarian meat snack are these bacon flavour wheat crunches. I just don't get it. I've had a large pumpkin sat in my kitchen for a couple of months now, and I finally got around to tackling it after offloading half of it to a friend. I made a pumpkin soup, which I've made before, and I made it worse this time, I think because I had a migraine when I was making it, and I put way too much stock in. It's really salty and not amazing. It's a nice recipe, and I made it wrong. It's creamy, and you put soft cheese in it, and it melts, and it's beautiful. I've been eating that all week, and I've still got a bit more to go, but it's going down. I've just had some tonight. Here, I had it with a goat's cheese and onion bread, which more than made up for the taste of the soup, because it was really nice. On Friday night, Holly very kindly made me a vegetarian spaghetti bolognese with onions and mushrooms and peppers and such like, and a side of cheese, garlic bread, and mixed salad. 3 pancakes, 2 bananas, double cream to excess. This lasted me all day on Sunday. It was amazing. So the big event in my week has been that it snowed in Somerset, which meant that I couldn't actually get to work on Friday, and I had to go and play in the snow all day, which was awful. For around 3 weeks now, we've not had any firewood for open fire in the house. This house is on economy 7. It's got storage heaters, which are expensive and useless. The only heat they seem to provide is in the morning when you don't want to get out of bed, because that's when you're actually feeling toasty. At night, we can sit in the living room and see our breath, which isn't comfortable, but you've got to balance it against paying huge energy bills and using enormous amounts of electricity that really we shouldn't need to. Today, I've managed to get some logs, and you can probably hear the crackle of the fire, and next door's bathroom. Excellent. This week, I've had to make sort of a mental and physical assessment of my comments on waste food, which I made last week. I went to work on Tuesday and was actually offered a substantial piece of pork, which was going to waste, and there was great disappointment when I would take it on because of my reputation for eating anything, and it did put me on the spot. I had to sort of think, right, I've made a dietary choice, and yes, for this month I'm being strict with that. So at that point I had to say no, thank you, I can't take this meat because I'm a vegetarian. But it did lead on to a bigger thought bubble, really, about my thoughts on wasting food and wasting meat. I am enjoying being a vegetarian. I do think it's the right thing to do. We should be eating much, much less meat, and I personally don't feel that I should need meat as part of my diet if I eat a balanced diet of other things. One of my real issues with eating meat is the energy that is required to produce it. When I look at it, an animal requires food which is grown in the ground. That means that a crop has to be grown, which requires energy, and then that animal has to eat that crop and be fed and watered for its lifespan, and then it's killed for us to eat, and then most of it doesn't actually get used. A lot of the animal is wasted, or the meat goes on the shelves in the shops, doesn't get sold and ends up in a skip, which to me is an absolute abomination. Initially, if you're going to grow a crop, why not just eat it yourself? And then that one set sort of energy that's taken away from the earth is a direct product for human consumption and for our use, rather than then having to double the energy load by raising an animal as well. An extreme sort of context I've been putting myself in is thinking, right, if I'm going to commit to being a vegetarian for longer term than a month, and I'm going to make this a lifestyle choice, how would that affect me if I'm offered free meat, or if, for example, someone's made a meal with meat in it. And it's brought me to the point which I've sort of come to through discussion with others and my own personal thoughts on the matter, as I've just said, is that I feel I'd like to say I'm going to be a vegetarian long term, but I feel that it would be wrong if meat is about to be wasted to not eat that and not make use of it. In an extreme scenario, if I were to go skip diving and I was to go as a strict vegetarian, then I would be going to collect waste products and make use of them. If I were to then find a leg of lamb in that skip and then I turned my nose up at that leg of lamb and said, no, I'm a vegetarian, I can't have this, then I'm effectively going against everything that I've said I believe in, going skip diving. So I feel in that scenario, I should take that leg of lamb and I should make full use of it, and therefore that product has not been wasted. It also, personally, it comes down to respect. I think respect for animals is important. If an animal, for example, chickens, if you're to raise chickens and they lay eggs and you feed them and they eat your waste vegetable products, and there's sort of a cycle there, and you create multiple outputs out of the chickens, permaculture techniques such as tractoring, allowing them to go and weed areas of gardens, etc. And then at the end of their life, do we put them underground or do we eat them? I feel that if all the animal is used and utilised and respected in that way, that there isn't actually anything wrong with that. So after much musing and contemplation, I feel at the moment, at this point, I'd like to say that I'm going to be a vegetarian and that I'm not going to buy meat again. But if meat is going to waste, or for example, someone has very kindly gone out of their way to produce a meal which contains meat, hypothetically, I guess, unknowingly, that I'm a vegetarian, that I won't turn that down because it would be wasted. If it's going to waste, I think it's only right that I should eat it, really. I'd like to hasten to add at this point that that's just where I am. It's not necessarily right or wrong as a personal thing, as with all these things. That's where I am. So at the moment, I think long term I'm mostly vegetarian, but I don't like stereotypicalising myself and putting myself into a box or a category, but I think that's where I am. Right, I'll let you get on with your life again. You've probably had enough of me for 1 week anyway now. The only other good thing that I've done this week is for my dinner at work today I made a salad. It's been cold. I've been working outside in the snow and then sat down and had a raw salad for lunch. And I figure it was pretty good practice for my raw month in February, which I'm getting nervous and excited about at the same time. It's going to be interesting, especially if it stays cold. When you work 5 days a week outside all day, every day, I'm not sure how excited I'm going to get about having a cold meal. We'll see. See you soon.